Welcome to today's video, Exodus 20 verse 20 explained. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. This verse comes immediately after the dramatic and awe-inspiring giving of the 10 Commandments on Mount Sinai. The people of Israel were terrified by the thunder, lightning, the sound of the trumpet, and the mountain smoking. They stood far off, fearing for their lives. Moses gives them this reassurance, but also a deeper insight into why God revealed himself in such a powerful way. Moses begins by saying, Fear not. This seems like a contradiction, considering the people were trembling with fear. But the fear Moses refers to here is not the kind that causes someone to run away or hide. It's not a fear that leads to panic or despair. Rather, Moses distinguishes between two types of fear. First, he comforts the people by saying they do not need to be afraid for their lives. God did not appear in thunder and fire to destroy them. Instead, he came to prove them. This means God came to test their hearts, to refine their character, and to show them who he is. The second part of the verse reveals God's purpose. Moses says that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not. This fear is not terror, but reverence. It's a holy respect for God that keeps people mindful of his presence. It is the kind of fear that draws someone closer to God in obedience, not away from him in dread. In essence, Moses tells the people that God revealed his glory and power so that they would be deeply moved and learn to live in awe of him. That awe is meant to keep them from sinning, not out of simple fear of punishment, but out of a desire to honor and obey a holy and righteous God. This verse is an early example of how God's dealings with his people are not just about external rules, but about the transformation of the heart. He wants his people to understand that obedience comes from a right understanding of who he is. When someone knows God truly, his justice, his power, his mercy, it shapes how they live. So in this short verse, we see the heart of God's instruction. He is not trying to frighten his people away, but to draw them into deeper reverence and obedience. The fear he wants them to carry is not one of terror, but of respect and honor that leads them to righteousness. This kind of fear is essential for us today as well. In a time where people often treat God casually or ignore his commands, we are reminded that knowing God rightly produces a reverent heart. That reverence becomes the foundation for a life that resists sin and walks in the light of God's truth.